Alicin, thank you for joining us for Anti-Racism Live.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great. The first thing I'd like to ask you, Alicin, is could you tell us about your work and mission at Yahoo?
Sure. Well, I focus on ensuring that every person who is at Yahoo understands that why they're here, how they have an opportunity to thrive, and that they have a sense of belonging. I work on the same thing with people who we want to engage with Yahoo, people who don't know that they should be working here yet. So we have a lot of different ways of engaging both our employees, bringing resources to them, partnering with a number of organizations within the company, and doing the same externally so that we're telling a consistent story about how we want people to be able to show up and engage with Yahoo.
Can I ask you, Alicin, why is the 21st of March, the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, so important to you?
Well, I think these days are important because while the work never stops, and it shouldn't stop, everyone should be learning all the time about how to be more inclusive, how to confront their own biases. Having a moment in time where we stop and focus and assess and understand and seek to understand more, I think is extremely critical. It's very, very important for us to know and to remind ourselves that there has been progress and there's always more to do. And so the 21st of March is a great time to do that.
Thank you, Alicin. So the 21st of March, the UN International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, Anti-Racism Day. I mean, where do you feel the global community is in relation to eradicating racism?
Well, I think there have been a lot of incredible pieces of work done to raise the impact, the negative impact, if racism continues, right? There's all sorts of opportunities for people to understand wherever they're sitting in whatever corner of the globe, certainly about racism, and then also just about othering, right? How do we make sure that we aren't part of the othering experience, that we're including people, that we're understanding a range of perspectives and a range of lived experiences, both so that we can be better and smarter, and that we can actually make the world better. So there's that the global aspect of racism obviously looks different depending on where you're sitting in the world. And yet, because of the way humans are, we actually always have an opportunity to make sure that there's more inclusivity in our world.
I mean, we're seeing an increase in racism, hatred, divided communities as a consequence of the global crises that we're facing. What's your assessment of the situation, and do you think we can turn it around?
Well, first, I absolutely think we can do a lot better. I think we have seen a lot of divisiveness, absolutely, in the world. I do think that where I'm optimistic is there are a lot of people who are embracing anti-racism, that they're embracing anti-bias, that they're embracing understanding. And what that does often is it actually highlights and puts a spotlight on where we're seeing some really ugly things happen. And so why I'm optimistic about how we move forward is that there are incredible people having really important, not only conversations, but making some really important changes to address systemic bias, to address racism, to address divisiveness.
Alicin, given the breakdown that we've just discussed, that we're seeing in relation to the issues of humanity's survival and the impact that that's having throughout society, I mean, do you think it's actually possible that we can live together side by side, irrespective of our colour, political views, or our religious beliefs? I mean, it's quite an extraordinary place that we've found ourselves in March 2024. I mean, I don't think I've ever been more concerned about the treatment of the air, the land, the sea, the people. And I want to know kind of like how you see it,
I think that there are I keep on saying that I know that there's opportunity, right? I know there's opportunity for us to all be able to be together. There will always be disagreement. And that's okay, because that actually creates smarter, again, more informed, smarter people. And as long as there's an opportunity and people are willing to sit down, have conversations, to engage with each other, then there's always an opportunity for us to do better. There are scary things happening with the climate. There are some scary things happening around divisiveness and divisive language. That is where the people who are willing to, again, think more expansively about even how they see people who don't agree with them, that's where the work is. And it requires all of us to dig deep and ensure that we are being open when we care so much about change and about people coming together. We also need to know that there are people who everyone is living in their own experience, right? And so the opportunities to learn more about what that is, what keeps them up at night, what are their real concerns, allows us to actually get closer to everyone sitting side by side and having, moving forward and having just more faith in humanity.
Yeah. It's incredible because you're working for Yahoo. I mean, Yahoo, Yahoo's always been a part of my life. I've always known it's a place to access information. And of course, access to information, particularly if it informs, inspires, and engages people towards action, is a real big part of humanity's survival, right? I mean, it's the people on the peripheral that help change the status quo. What's it like working for an organization that supplies information to the world? I mean, that must be exciting for you. I mean, what are your thoughts around that?
Well, no, it's wonderful to be here. It's wonderful to be at a company that is so focused on actually just providing facts to people, and helping people find their goal, like achieve their goals by whatever they're looking for and however they want to consume it. I think part of the responsibility that Yahoo takes very seriously is to ensure that people feel that they can safely come to our products, to the platform, and know that they're going to get real information. And then people will do with it what they will, right? Like, this is not, we're purple. And so I think part of one of the opportunities that a lot of other platforms have, and I've been doing this work for a long time, and it's great to be in a information company, although because communication is everything, in my opinion. There's a lot of opportunity for people to both understand that there's to diversify where they get their information, so that there is not just one perspective that they're seeing, that there are an understanding that there are a lot of places that will help inform healthy decisions and frankly, some of the decisions or thoughts that they have around the people around them.
Alicin, where do you draw your hope from? I mean, in relation to the great challenges we face to the journey towards the elimination of racial discrimination, what keeps you inspired to keep going?
As I've mentioned before, the number of people, the range of people who have embraced this work and these conversations and the opportunity to just dig in and lean into how everyone gets to show up fully. The fact of the matter is, we all do better. We all have incredible opportunity when we are leaning towards and racing towards anti-discrimination, anti-racism, just eliminating anti-Semitism, eliminating Islamophobia, working towards that. And it doesn't have to be just centered on our own identity, but understanding that everyone has a range of lived experiences that if we're actually able to look and think beyond ourselves, we can certainly create an incredible future for our children and those who come behind us. But my hope comes from both the younger generation that's very much focused on ensuring that we are paying attention and that we're getting the right language, that we're looking at the range of lived experiences, as well as my hope coming from people who are consistently in these conversations, not shying away from it because it's not always easy, but certainly understanding that there is just worldwide benefit for everyone if we actually figure this out.
Thank you, Alicin. Can I ask you, with Yahoo, what's your sort of the mission and the vision for the future?
It's a pretty simple one, and it's one that I actually would have anywhere that I've done, the work that I do, and I'm lucky and fortunate to be at a place where this is also embraced, which is that every person who comes into contact with Yahoo has a sense of belonging, that they feel connected to us, that the people who work here have an opportunity and know that they can thrive here, that anybody who is a partner with us, any client, any user, that this is a place for them. And that's really, it seems very simple. It's not, but it's something that we aim for. We really want to make sure that this is a place that people feel seen and heard.
Amazing. So finally, to the person feeling disempowered and unequipped, perhaps to be part of the elimination of racial discrimination, what resources or organizations would you recommend they go to be informed, inspired, and engaged?
So, there are a number of small organizations and authors that are doing some incredible work. I actually thought it'd be helpful, because this is global, to talk about a couple of global organizations that have also a range of entities within them that they serve as an umbrella. The Unstereotype Alliance is one that I would definitely recommend. I think that they are very much focused on both gender equality, and certainly are focused on anti-racism and anti-discrimination. And Global Citizen, I think they've done a great job of creating this repertoire, certainly this resource library of a number of ways of engaging and learning more. I learn every day, and so I'm always looking for additional resources to become more informed. And so these two organizations specifically, I think, would be there are many others, but have done an incredible job at bringing together a number of resources.
Fantastic. Alicin, thank you so much for participating in Anti-Racism Live, and we wish you the very best at Yahoo.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.